YouTube, hello. We are here today trying out the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time ROM hack, Hero of Law. So this is a ROM hack that transforms Ocarina of Time into like a Phoenix Wright like? Yeah, we could say that. It's a Wright-like game. And it's like a courtroom drama, and it looks really fun, and I thought we would give it a spin. So we're going to do that today. YouTube, remember to do those things that YouTube likes for you to do. Remember, you can come hang out with us on Discord. And the next time I see you, we'll be playing Hero of Law. Bye-bye. YouTube, we're back. Let's check out Hero of Law. So the game autosaves. That's sick. We love that. It's so quiet. Do you think they forgot? Forget a royal visitation? No one could make such a blunder, princess. Princess? No one could make such a terrible blunder, princess. Well, I guess I should just go in then. That's stupid. Oh, I forgot. I didn't forget, but I remembered it opened like this, but holy shit. Oh. March 17th, 9:37 a.m., Hyrule Grand Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Oh, this is Link? I have to create a character voice for Link. What do you think Link sounds like? Is it gonna be something? I feel like, you know what, really my headcanon for Link is that he's a big dum-dum. Would it, you know, like, you think that after so many years of doing this, I would be used to this? I'm just giving him Big the Cat's voice. I don't want to do Big the Cat. You imagine doing Big the Cat for all that time? You'd think that after so many years of doing this, that I would be used to the stress. So why am I shaking? Yeah, I guess it's a lot worse when it's your friend's life that's on the line. Come on, I gotta look professional. She can't see you like this. Speaking of her, though, where is she anyway? Hey, you, over there. Huh? What is it, attorney? The trial isn't starting yet. But it will soon, right? Would you happen to know why my client isn't here yet? I didn't get to speak much with her when she was arrested, so I was hoping I could at least exchange a word with her now. Well, you weren't the only one with the idea. I believe she's currently in the prosecutor's lobby. He wanted to talk to her as well. What? What is up with this guy? He bars me from the crime scene, blocks my detention center visits, and now this? Not to worry, she will definitely be here before the trial. Great. That'll be a joyous 5 minutes indeed. But there's nothing I can do but wait. Sometime later. Okay, this is ridiculous. How much longer can he keep her? Ah, see? There she is. No need to get all worked up. Is something wrong? Did I hear shouting? So much for looking professional. No. Don't worry. Everything's fine. Huh. This is Malin. Ever since we met in Hyrule Castletown all those years ago, we've been great friends. Her heart's in the right place. I know she cared deeply about her father. If everything's fine, why do you look so worried? Well, how did the investigation go? Did you find anything? Yes, the investigation. I found tons of, groundbreaking stuff. Particularly that my opponent's a real scumbag. What did the prosecutor want from you anyway? Well, it was mostly just threats. He kept explaining in detail what'll happen to me if I'm found guilty. That doesn't sound like a vital discussion that needed to happen right before the trial. Probably just did that so we wouldn't have as much time to talk. You believe in me, right? I didn't do it. I'd never. Well, of course I believe you. Well, of course I believe you. Although, I'll be honest, things aren't looking very good right now. What's that you've got there? Oh, this is just a pictograph of Father I carry around. I just can't believe he's gone. I wish I knew how to cheer her up right now. I'm not very good at handling emotional clients. Hey, you know, that pictograph could be really useful for the trial. Oh? How so? Oh, well, you look so happy together. I can present it to show that you two had a great relationship. You really think so? Oh, well, there you go then. At least I'll be walking in there with something other than my badge. But wait, we shouldn't just be idly chatting. Okay, anyway, there's not much time left. I know it's hard to talk about, but could you tell me what actually happened? I don't stand much chance if I don't know your version of the story. I understand. Unfortunately, there really isn't much to... The trial is starting. Defendant, attorney, please enter the courtroom at once. Uh-oh, I shouldn't have said that stuff about having no chance. Alright, everything will be fine. The prosecutor has been playing me for a fool since this began, but sooner or later his arrogance will be his undoing. Let's head inside. My name is Link. I've been a defense attorney for the last 7 years. What a wild sentence. I don't know. There's something so silly to me about Link being like an attorney. That's really what makes this Romhack like very funny to me, is like, in my head, Link is a big dum-dum. Like, all the time. He's like a real dum-dum. And when we play Zelda games on the channel, how I play those games ultimately reinforces that belief, unfortunately. So it's so wacky to think about, like, don't worry, ma'am. I'll get to the bottom of this case. I am Link. I've won my fair share of cases. I've lost some too. But this one is personal. There's so much at stake here. Not only do I have to save Malon's life, I gotta find out who did this to Talon. Talon, he was always so kind. He didn't deserve this. I need to do him justice. I can't lose this. Of course, Ganondorf is the prosecutor. Rauru is the judge. Perfect. Court is now in session. The trial of Malon of Lon Lon Ranch. Look at Link in his suit. Oh, I love Link's Phoenix Wright cosplay. This is sick. This is great. I sincerely doubt that. What were they thinking, pitting me against some pathetic kid? So Dragmire, so we're using his last name. Pathetic kid, what gives you the right to... Still your tongue. You bring shame upon the fine color of your hair, vile woman. What the fuck? Weirdo. Before long, the world shall know the horrible deeds you've committed. Let us not prolong the inevitable. Shall we begin? No, this court is no place to be exchanging insults. Since the prosecution seems to be ready as well, let's hear their opening statement. The opening statement shall also be the closing one. The girl did it, it's obvious. She killed her own father in cold blood. Also, she could have the ranch to herself. Couldn't wait for the old fool to die naturally, could you, you greedy little rat? Oh, that was good. Huh? Your Honor, You can't allow this man to verbally abuse the defendant like this. Please. Ha! Ah, she committed murder, kid. She deserves every bit of scorn that she gets. I do believe a little less commentary wouldn't go amiss. Bah. I assure you, old man, you will change your opinion once you see all the damning evidence. Who is this guy? How can he speak to the judge like that? Ganondorf Dragmire. Looks like I've been lucky to avoid meeting this man until now. The stories I've heard about him must be true. A boorish barbarian of a man hailing from the Gerudo province. Apparently, he prides himself on the nearly clean streak he's cultivated for a decade. For decades, all while disrespecting everyone in the court, including the judge. I've even heard some attorneys refer to him as the King of Evil. Definitely has that look at the very least. Who wears full armor to court? Very well. Please present your case to the court. Huh. You don't seem to like me talking, so I'll let the detective present the basics. Who's Gumshoe? Impa, of course. Okay, bring Impa of the Sheikah Force to the stand. Well, here we go. The first battle. I know Impa. She's quite a competent detective. Which worries me. Please let her have made a mistake just this once. Oh my god, Impa. Alright. State your name and whatever it is you pretend to do. You never change, do you, prosecutor? Any possible change would be for the worse. Now, stop wasting time. Name and occupation. Oh, man. Sorry, I had a little cough there. Very well. I'm Impa, head detective of the Sheikah Force, Homicide Division. True for now, at least. Well, what are you waiting for? Start talking. You were the one assigned to this case, so you know all about it. What calamity has befallen our fair kingdom? Huh. Still can't be bothered to give a proper opening statement? I suppose I could do the prosecutor's job for him this time, for the sake of an unbiased look. Please go ahead, detective. The incident happened early yesterday morning on Lon Lon Ranch, a local supplier of goods located just south of Castletown. The current owner of the homestead, Talon, was found dead in his ranch house. A tragic loss for our kingdom for sure. I've seen the man around Castletown a number of times delivering goods and sleeping just in the middle of the road. Quite. The owner was a rather important figure in the local community. In any case, we were alerted to the scene of the murder by the Royal Guard, who were there on official business. Official business? What kind? Well, as I understand, the ranch provides the kingdom with vital services. To ensure it's operating as it should, and as a gesture of appreciation, the Crown orders a visitation to the ranch every year. Huh, I see. A scheduled annual visit. Continue, detective. When the Sheikah Force arrived, they found the victim bleeding out onto the floor. Next to him lay his daughter Malin, breathing but unresponsive. After a thorough investigation, we arrested her, as she was deemed to be the only possible culprit. That about covers the gist of what happened. Very nice and succinct. Keep that up and perhaps you'll keep your job. I don't think the good detective has much to worry about, given that she is the head of the department. Which reminds me, why is the head of detectives herself on a case like this? Were the other detectives unavailable? That would be because I have been assigned to the case by the order of the King of Hyrule himself. The King himself assigned you? That doesn't happen very often, does it? You are correct, Your Honor. I'm not usually involved in the field work like this. This time, however, the King felt it necessary because of who was involved. Who is involved? Is the death of a ranch worker really such a concern for the King? Well, as I said, Lon Lon Ranch is a very important supplier of goods, to be sure. But that's not who I meant. Imagine the King wanted the top investigators on the job because it was the royal princess herself who discovered the crime scene. Rabble, 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 rabble. Is his gavel The light medallion. His gavel is the light medallion. This is an excellent ROM hack. I love all these little details. It's so cool. It's so cool. Great. Order! I will have order. The Royal Princess Zelda witnessed the crime? Ah, and there you have it. This case rides on the princess's own words. To doubt it would be a doubt to your own royalty. Okay, this is bad. I can't really object to that. Very well. The princess is testifying today. It's better we don't make her needlessly wait. Detective, please testify about exactly why the defendant was arrested. Witness testimony. It's with regret that I agree with Dragmire. All the evidence points towards this girl as the culprit, or this girl being the culprit. We determined that the murder definitely took place inside of the ranch house. There were only 3 people on the ranch. The victim, the defendant, a worker who has an alibi for the time of the crime. The defendant was found unconscious right in front of the victim, who's bleeding out onto the floor. Sorry, Chad. Furthermore, she was holding the weapon. Without a doubt, that's what was used to kill the victim. She seems like such a bright girl. It's most unfortunate. Your Honor, I'd like to submit these pieces of evidence to the court. First, I have the autopsy report performed by the Crown's top coroner. Okay. Can I look at that now? Here's what we would... Okay. Here's what we determined to be the murder weapon, which we took from the defendant's own hands. The saw. And to make sure we had the correct weapon, we conducted a very thorough investigation. Naturally, we searched everyone and thoroughly examined the ranch and its vicinity. Nothing unusual was found. But to be safe, we also checked the ranch's inventory list to see if anything was missing. The list matches the items we found on the ranch exactly, and nothing but the saw had fresh blood on it. Oh, that does sound quite compelling. This must have been a truly terrifying scene. Dying from a wound made from a weapon like this is extremely painful. This only helps to prove the defendant's viciousness. At this rate, they're going to paint Malin as some heartless monster. There's one more thing I feel I should mention, for the sake of completeness. Shortly after we arrived at the ranch, a courier showed up to take some milk shipments. Of course, business must go on. Is this really necessary to enter into evidence, though? The shipments did end up leaving the ranch, so I feel like it bears mentioning. Were the contents checked before you let them go? Naturally. Who do you take us for? Even though the worker handling the shipments did get quite worked up about it, we cracked all the boxes open to check what was inside. In the end, it did turn out to be only milk bottles, so we let them through. Well, very well. Thank you for your thoroughness, Detective. So what happens now? Well, this is where I step in and perform a cross-examination. Oh, great. How does that work? Huh? Could you explain what you're going to be doing? Oh, here's the tutorial. The witness will repeat her testimony. I'll be able to scroll back and forth between individual statements by pressing A and B or with the stick. Okay. They'll just repeat it as many times as you want? Yeah! That's right. I have to consider every little detail. I can't miss a thing. If I want more info about something, I can use L or Z to press the statement and ask the witness a question. Grill them for info. Yep. Since the witness has to come up with an answer on the spot, if they're lying, prompting for more info can make them slip up. Most importantly, though, if I find something that doesn't line up with the evidence, I can press R to bring up the court record. The court record is basically a list of all the evidence, right? Yes! I can open it anytime if I need to recheck the facts. After choosing the contradicting item, I can press up to raise an objection and present my doubts to the case. Oh, and I can not only present evidence, but profiles as well. Court record contains a list of all the people involved, too. I can switch between evidence and profiles with R. If I need to review what's been said recently, I can also press start to see a history of messages. Oh, I see. That makes sense. Is the detective done are you done whispering? Sorry. Oh, if he's so upset about it, why doesn't he just press that to skip ahead? The defense is ready to cross-examine the witness. Ugh. A waste of time. Sincerely hope you're not implying the standard court procedure is a waste of time, Mr. Dragmire. In any case, we're ready. Defense, please begin the cross-examination. The reasons for arrest. Okay. Okay, let me look at this. Oh, wait, fuck. Alright, that was a mistake. I goofed there. That's fine. Anyway. So that's for objection. Or that's to make it, that's to interject, and then we can, okay. With regret that I agree, Dragmire, evidence points to the girl being the culprit. We determined that the murder definitely took place inside of the ranch house. 3 people on the ranch, the victim, the defendant, and a worker who has an alibi for the time of the crime. The defendant was found unconscious right in front of the victim, who was bleeding out on the floor. Well, furthermore, she was holding the weapon. Without a doubt, that was used to kill the victim. Clean of blood. Hey, wait, she said that's the only thing that's dirty. Yeah. Okay, so I would hit this. Hold it! Malin fainted? Correct. We couldn't get her to wake for a long time. Healing fair so she could be questioned. Finding the body was just that much of a shock, huh? Probably just pretending, trying to make it look like she had found the body. Alright. Court record. Here it is. Huh, this seems like a fairly large oversight. I just want to make sure of something. The state of the saw is currently in how... The state the saw is currently in is how you found it at the crime scene? Well, that's correct. Well, that's strange, considering how much the victim bled out and how deep his wound was. Why is there no blood on the supposed murder weapon? Rabble, 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 rabble. Ha, is that all you have? I mean, that's pretty compelling. They shouldn't clean a murder weapon. That's not how that works. Naturally, the prosecution has an explanation for why the saw is clean. Behold, this cloth was found in the defendant's other hand. As you can plainly see, it is stained with blood. The defendant simply wiped the murder weapon in a futile attempt to hide her involvement. Objection. Malin was trying to hide her involvement. Why didn't she just leave the crime scene? Obviously she was trying to hide the body before the royal visitation arrived at the ranch. Unfortunately for her, it just so happened that the delegation arrived quite a bit earlier than scheduled. In a panic, she quickly wiped the saw off and pretended to faint to make it look like she had just stumbled on the scene. Young lady, things are not looking very good for you right now. The court accepts the bloodied cloth into evidence. So what's the story with this cloth? Well, as I was doing a final check around the ranch, I noticed that part of the fence around the horse paddock was damaged. I'm not entirely sure when that happened, but sometimes one of the horses just gets a bit too rowdy, you know? Right. Anyway, I didn't want to bother Mr. Ingo about it, so I tried to cut up a new rail by myself to patch it up. But then the saw slipped, and I cut my hand open. Oh, good. Oh, goddessness. Are you alright? Did I read that correctly, or am I dumb? It did bleed quite a lot, though. So I used that cloth to quickly bandage the wound. I was actually going to the ranch house to ask Father to help me with the fence. Likely story. And impossible to verify now, of course. The Sheikah force had to use a fairy on the defendant to get her out of her supposed unconsciousness. I do have to give her some credit. She is one cunning woman. She knew that would explain a sudden lack of any wound on her hand. Oh, well, yes, fairies are wonderful. Just the other day, I slammed my hand with the gavel, and one took the pain off immediately. Great. Glad to know they're used for such important things. But dang it, too bad there's no way to tell whose blood is on the cloth. I do believe this matter has been settled. I'm ready to call my next witness. Uh-oh. Is that all I can get out of her? You've served your purpose, Sheikah. Be gone. Fine, but you'd best treat Her Highness with respect, or I'll see to it you spend the night in the dungeons. I will abuse my power. Don't you worry. Do not presume to threaten me, Sheikah. A night of darkness and solitude would be nothing but comfort for me. Is that so? Then perhaps we should fill the dungeons with lit candles for the occasion. We're going daggers at each other. If this doesn't end soon, we're all in trouble. Order, order, order. I'm sure we'll treat the princess with the utmost respect. Let me step down, detective. I think this is really cool. This is such a fun idea. Like, the highest of props to the team that worked on this. It's so cool. The case has already made me weary with all this pointless jabber. The time is ripe to deal the final blow. I call Her Highness Princess Zelda of Hyrule to the stand. Oh no. I love that like everybody's in the poses, like the Phoenix Wright poses. Is something the matter? Why is everyone quiet all of a sudden? Ah, Your Highness. I believe we're all just a bit uncertain on how to proceed. It's quite the honor to have such an esteemed guest in these halls. Ah! In the face of the law, the princess is no different than a peasant. Name and occupation, now. The prosecution will behave. I will not have any derogatory statements directed at the princess. Derogatory? I simply wish to not waste any more time. We must employ proper procedure. Man. That's all right, detective. I believe the prosecution does have a point. In the eyes of the law, we are all the same. On this stand, I am just another witness. I should not be getting any special treatment. Very admirable, Your Highness. We can all rest easy knowing that Hyrule is destined to have such a wise monarch in its future. Yes, indeed. I eagerly await the day when our next ruler takes the throne and reshapes the kingdom in their image. You flatter me, prosecutor. Now then, completely. I want to be king, is what he said. I believe he asked for my name and occupation. I am Zelda, current princess of Hyrule and heir apparent to the throne. Marvelous, Your Highness. Before we begin, I would just like to know, why were you at Lon Ranch to witness this terrible incident? Oh, it's simple, really. Lon Ranch is Hyrule Castletown's biggest food supplier. Not only that, but the ranch also equips the Hyrule's Royal Guard with the finest of horses. Every year, the royal family makes a visit as a gesture of goodwill and to ensure the quality of the steeds. I didn't know your horses were used by the Royal Guard. Yep. We work hard every year to make sure they're in their best possible condition. Father loved to boast about it to the other ranch owners. Ha. Knowing talent, I'm sure he did. How unfortunate that the ranch may no longer meet the Crown's high standards under new management. The royal family has a backup, I trust. We are looking for one. Naturally, those standards are quite high. Yes, of course. Now then, please describe what you saw on the day of the incident. Very well. Here we go. The scene behind the door. I arrived at Lon Lon Ranch a little after 8 a.m., accompanied by my loyal guards. I remember being surprised at how quiet everything was. There was nobody there to welcome us. I could sense that something was wrong. I opened the door to the ranch house and went inside. The room was mostly empty. There was a table with some kind of crystal bottle on top of it. But from in front of the table, a terrifying scene was unveiling. The defendant hacked at the ranch owner's chest with the saw she was holding. I was overcome with fear and I screamed. I will never forget what I saw that day. I heard what Talon and his daughter were. I had heard that Talon and his daughter were incredibly kind. I cannot believe she would commit such horrible violence. Well, okay, for one. What? Oh my, you saw the very moment the victim was killed? There you go. Decisive testimony. As there's no need to doubt the princess's statement, I call for the judge to make a ruling right away. Objection! Hey now, hold on. I didn't get to cross-examine the witness yet. You haven't, fool, because there's no need. Did you not hear one word of what I said? Had? Didn't you just say we should follow all the procedures and treat the princess like any other witness? This is the defense's right. It's Phoenix right. I believe the defense has a point. And they do have every right to perform a cross-examination no matter who is testifying. I was quite looking forward to this part myself. I've only ever read about court proceedings in the Royal Library. That being said, I will not tolerate any reckless accusations toward the princess. Is that clear? Naturally, Your Honor. How am I going to cross-examine the princess? This isn't going to end well. What's gotten into the prosecutor? That seemed like a rather intense outburst. Well, I do have a guess. Oh? Because of the princess's status, it's possible that Dragmire didn't have an opportunity to discuss her testimony with her. That might mean that this testimony is a surprise, even to him. This could be my chance. Now, before we begin, there's just one thing that caught my attention. I believe the princess mentioned seeing some kind of glass bottle at the crime scene. That would be this, I presume. Why, yes, that's exactly it. What is that? Oh, this is the bottle of perfume that Father intended to gift Her Highness when she arrived. He quickly rode out to town to get it at the very last moment. We didn't know that the princess was coming instead of the king until only about 2 hours before the visitation. Oh, how thoughtful. He really did not need to bother himself so. As fascinating as this all is, the prosecution doesn't believe it's relevant to the case. No. It's good to have a full picture of the crime scene. The defense requests the bottle be accepted into evidence. Desperate to latch onto every little thing, aren't you? Whatever. You can add it to the evidence if it'll make you happy. No skin off my teeth. No teeth on my skin. In that case, the court accepts this bottle into evidence. Perfume bottle. Now then, defense, you may begin your cross-examination. Now that I won't just hit wrong buttons. Cross-examination. The scene behind the door. I arrived at the ranch a little after 8 a.m., accompanied by the Royal Guard. Oh, not that. It's okay, I'll just hit every wrong button. I remember being quite surprised how quiet everyone was. There's nobody to welcome us. I could sense something was wrong. I opened the door to the ranch house and went inside. The room is mostly empty. There's a table with some kind of crystal bottle on top. With the scene in front of the table, a terrifying scene was unveiling. The defendant hacked the ranch owner's chest with the saw that she was holding. So we can cheat this a little bit because we actually got to see that. And when she opened the door, they were not doing that. So I think this is the statement we've got to go after. Victim died from loss of blood no later than 8 a.m. Okay, so... Let me just look at this real quick. Make sure I'm... No later than 8 a.m. Right? Am I reading that right? No later than 8 a.m. So he died before 8. So there's no way... I'm gonna do that. Hap! Your Honor, Your Highness, I believe I found something that doesn't quite match up with the facts. Well, how dare you question the princess? You will let the defense speak, prosecutor. I think I see why he so desperately wanted to prevent this cross-examination now. Your Highness, you stated that you arrived at the ranch shortly after 8 a.m., correct? Yes, the visit was scheduled for 8:30 exactly, but we were quite a bit early. I see. Well, that makes something you mentioned quite impossible. As stated by the autopsy report, the victim definitely died before 8 a.m. You couldn't have seen the defendant attack the ranch owner when you arrived, because the victim was already dead by then. Order, order. Yes, you've really caught her in a lie. Your Highness, what is the meaning of this? While I wholeheartedly respect and serve the crown, I will nonetheless tolerate lies in my court. I have not lied, I suppose I didn't see the exact moment that it happened. I guess I only thought I did. Princess, this is a matter of life and death. I definitely saw the defendant there, though, along with the body. There is no one else who could have done it. I remember all the other details correctly. The body's on the floor, the pool of blood. Yeah, you have to believe me. Perhaps it'll be best if Highness revises her testimony. Oh, that's not good. There's still not enough doubt to overturn the testimony. I'll have to find something else or this case will be over. Interesting. What I actually saw. I'm sorry for embellishing the truth a bit. I did not see the actual moment of the attack, but it had to have happened shortly before I went into the ranch house. Miss Malin and her father were the only ones at the scene of the crime, so she must be the culprit. That was much shorter. I see. You only saw the aftermath of the scene, not the actual crime being committed. Very well. Hopefully there are no issues in your testimony this time. Defense, it's time for your cross-examination. Naturally, Your Honor. Dragmire still looks pretty angry. Bet he didn't expect such a blatant contradiction to pop up. If I could just find another one like that, the princess's testimony would become completely untrustworthy in the eyes of the judge. Alright, let's take a look-see here. This is so funny to me every time. Also, the anime panels. Sorry for embellishing the truth. I didn't see the actual moment of the attack, but it had to have happened shortly before I went into the ranch house. I'm gonna press this. How can you be so sure of that, Princess? Well, when I entered the ranch house, the victim still had the murder weapon embedded into his body. What? It's obvious what that means, is it not? The killer didn't even have enough time to try and hide the weapon. Yes, I might not have seen the murder firsthand, but I must have been very close to doing so. Okay, but the whole thing was finding Malin holding the weapon, right? This seems like a very important detail. I think it would be advisable for Her Highness to amend her testimony. Certainly, Your Honor. Interesting. Dragmire certainly doesn't look very happy about this development, does he? Thinking about it, I might just know why. Murder weapon was still stuck into the victim's body after all. Well, that's not... Hold on, I need to go on the court record. Because it's clean, so no, it wouldn't be. God, Zelda. Get your shit together, man. I believe we found another reason to doubt the witness's words. It seems the prosecution here sees what I'm... it seems that the Oh my god, my brain... I kept reading that as prostitution, and that's wrong. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why. It seems the prosecution sees what I'm getting at here. There was a bloody cloth discovered at the scene of the crime. The prosecution has argued before that it was used to wipe the saw clean. If the princess saw the saw lodged into Talon's body and the crime scene was left intact, then it couldn't have been wiped. Dun, dun. Well, Prosecutor Dragmire, do you care to explain? Ah! This is most perplexing. Your Highness, are you sure that's what you saw? Oh! Well, maybe the princess decided to pull the saw out in a valiant yet futile attempt to save the victim. And then wipe the blade clean? That would almost be like framing the defendant. Of course I did no such thing. I made sure the crime scene stayed intact. I guess I must have made up the memory of the saw sticking out of Mr. Talon as well. Nobody's happy. Everyone's mad. You idiotic girl! Do you even realize what you've done through your bumbling? I'm sorry. I was just so excited to stand as a witness in a court just this once. Whenever I tried telling my father about anything, he always seemed so disinterested. Just this once, I wanted to feel listened to. The defendant, it is clear that she did it. I just wanted to play a larger part in her capture. Wow, Zelda, get fucked. Sorry for all the trouble I've caused you all. Get actually fucked, Zelda. Your Highness, the court is no place for silly games. As it stands, I'm afraid we'll have to strike your statements from the court record completely. Yes, I did it. The prosecution lost their key witness. The prostitution lost their witness. No, please wait. I have more to say. I was wrong about the crime scene, but I still have not testified about what I saw afterward. Why would we care about that? It's best that you leave and stop damaging my case with your idiocy. Even if you're not interested in my words, you might be interested in the evidence I found. What? Huh? Evidence? Of course. While the Sheikah force investigated inside the ranch house, I looked around the rest of the ranch on my own. Sheikah, did you know about this? Of course I did. You did? I'll have your head for this. Order, order. What's the meaning of this, detective? Why have you withheld this from the court? It's quite simple. The princess specifically requested to present her finding on her own. What? And you agreed to this? This court is not some playground where children decide when evidence should be presented just because they have a crown. He's being rude about it, but I can't help but agree with Dragmire on this one. Also, I don't really buy this story. There's no way Impa would have allowed this. Believe me, I wasn't thrilled with the request either. However, after seeing the evidence in question, I didn't think it would be all that important to the case. Thus, I let the princess have her fun. This is highly, highly irregular. I'm not sure how to feel about this. Prosecutor? Naturally, I object to this nonsense. If the detective thinks it's irrelevant, then this is probably just a waste of time. All the evidence points to the defendant. It's still clear that she did it, even without a witness at the scene. I see. Defense? What do we do? If we object to presenting the evidence, then Dragmire loses his key witness. Plus, whatever the princess presents could be bad for our case, too. So we should agree with the prosecution? Well, on the other hand, we don't really have much to go on. This could be our only lead left. Well, don't keep us waiting. Surely you won't throw away all the progress you've made thus far. What do I do? No, I want the evidence. I really hope this is the right choice. The defense requests that the evidence be presented. What? While I agree that the situation is irregular, we should still examine all evidence available. It would be silly to dismiss it as irrelevant without even seeing what it is. I do believe you have a point, defense. However, I must warn you, in order to admit this piece of evidence into court record, the princess's statement that she found it somewhere away from the scene has to be admitted as testimony. Yes, Your Honor. I'm well aware. The defense wishes to give the princess just one more chance. Of all the idiotic, foolish... Order. Very well, then. Your Highness, please testify once more about the new piece of evidence that you found during your own investigation. Thank you. I will not let you down this time, I promise. We'll see. The princess should understand the gravity of the situation at hand by now. I just hope this new evidence isn't damaging to our case. My findings. I wish to express my most heartfelt apologies for our mistakes in the earlier testimony. Upon entering the ranch house, I saw the defendant passed out in front of the victim who was bleeding out. I stood guard at the entrance of the ranch house until the Sheikah force arrived. Once the Sheikah started investigating the crime scene, I decided to take a look around the ranch. While I was walking near the silo, I noticed a strong odor in the air. I had to stop and see where it was coming from. I followed the scent and found a burned-out fire nearby and a small, nearly empty bottle of lamp oil. I, of course, took the bottle straight to the head detective. That's wrong. And here it is. The oil bottle that I found. This is, yeah, nothing. Is something wrong? Oh no, this might actually be completely irrelevant. Yes, well, of course there is, foolish girl. It has nothing to do with anything. Your great finding was some random fire on a ranch? Please, what next? You're going to declare every rake on the premises suspicious. Well, prosecution will calm down. This is bad. Your Honor, despite the fact that this evidence might not seem to add anything at the moment, the defense still asserts its right to cross-examination. Some straws have been grasped. Why must you insist on this charade, defense? The princess has merely recounted the same view of the crime scene as the head detective. You haven't been able to find any contradictions in her statements. I believe there might be a way to tie the princess's new evidence to the case. Ridiculous! Regardless of what the prosecution thinks, the defense does have a right to a cross-examination. The court admits the oil bottle into evidence. I just really hope this isn't a complete waste of time, defense. For both your own sake and the client's. Sorry, Rauru. It was cool when you were a dragon dog man in Tears of the Kingdom. Alright, take a look at this. There's no need to press the princess on her apology. You already wasted the chance to throw out her testimony. That one was a mistake. Okay. I mean, I feel like she's been, like, lying, so I'm just gonna yell at her about everything. Is there anything else in the room? Only the beautiful little crystal bottle I mentioned before. The house is rather barren. Most of our things are on the top floor, since the downstairs room is mostly used for ranch business these days. And the occasional game. Ah, of course, yeah, catch the chickens, yeah. The good old days. Is the defense done reminiscing? We have plenty of time to do that when the defendant's behind bars. I was just trying to distract myself from the fact there's nothing to latch onto here. Alright, so... pressed. Did anything happen during that time? No, not that I recall. The guards did occasionally protest and ask me to let them take over, but I held my stance. Huh. While commendable in theory, staying in the same room as a dangerous killer isn't very wise. What if she woke up and lashed out at you? Sweet highly up above. That thought did not occur to me. Of course not. Foolish girl. But the guards did stand close by. I would have been safe. Wonderful to see how much faith our princess has on our royal guard. Yes, of course I do. In any case, I'm just gonna press all these statements. We didn't just go home? Royal visitation was supposed to last a lot longer. Father was not expecting us back at the castle until much later. I came to the ranch to examine the horses, so I suppose I could at least do that in the meantime. How long did it take for the Shika to arrive at the scene? Why can't I get that out of my mouth? It doesn't take very long to make the trip from Hyrule Castle Town to Lon Lon Ranch. I cannot imagine it was more than 20 minutes. That is pretty fast. Although I imagine the fact that the princess was involved helped speed things up. Slow pokes. I would have been there in half that time, running backwards even. I suppose it's no surprise, though. Hylian horses are naturally inferior to our fine Gerudo steeds. The Gerudo buy horses from our ranch too, you. Just don't bother, he's trying to rile you up. I'm just doing all of these. What was the smell like? Oh, it was awful. Really terrible stench. Surely you don't mean to say that you found the smell of horse manure suspicious. Don't be ridiculous. The smell was not coming from the horses. I'm just gonna yell at her. A fire, huh? Now let me remind you, Defense, that there's any number of reasons why a fire could have been there. You can still feel the very cold grasp of death early in the morning. Princess, how long would you estimate the fire had been out before you found it? Ah, right, there's still smoke rising out of the ashes, so it must have been put out recently. So around the time of the crime? So someone prepared their breakfast there. I repeat, this fire is irrelevant. I think he's realized the same thing I did. Well, who was it? Who could have lit that fire anyway? It would have had to have been the ranch worker who was putting the milk shipments together at the time. It was almost certainly him. If you really want to ask about his little barbecue, you might get your wish soon. Doesn't sound like it was very appetizing. Without any concrete to pin on him, he'll just be able to brush it off. I know, definitely pressing this because she went, She stumbled. I brought it right. No. Right. And she allowed you to present it? Well, I was the one to find it. And since I was going to the trial anyway. Utter ridiculousness. Yes, please make this the last time you do something like this, Your Highness. Proper procedures exist for a reason. Yes, I understand. Defense, I believe that's enough. It doesn't seem like you're getting any closer to finding connection between this fire and the crime at all. No, I suppose not, Your Honor. Naturally, I've said this was a waste of time from the beginning. In that case, this cross-examination is over. Thank you for your time, Your Highness. I assume you have no more revelations to share with us? No, I do not. I really thought the fire would be important. Huh. Leave my sight. Enough. Your Highness, if you'd allow me to escort you back to Hyrule Castle. Very well. Bet that fire comes back. Now that the princess's little game is over, we should move this along. The prosecution's stance is still the same, of course. We maintain the evidence is on its own is enough to convict the defendant. I do believe I'm nearly ready to hand down my verdict. Hat! But, Your Honor, there's nothing that definitively shows that Malin committed the crime. This is all circumstantial. There's no way she would kill her own father. Ah, that is an excellent point, Defense. You have common sense. The prosecution has yet to elaborate on the defendant's motive. Patricide is not something a person commits lightly. I did briefly touch upon the subject during my opening statement, but naturally, the prosecution is fully prepared to elaborate on the matter. I would like to call in my third witness. That has to be the ranch worker. Before calling him in, though, the prosecution requests a brief recess to prepare. I thought you said you were already prepared. Maybe he wants to double-check that his new witness won't pull anything weird like the princess did. Very well. I do believe a break would benefit us all. The court will reconvene after a 15-minute recess. Court is adjourned. March 17th, 11:17 a.m., Hyrule Grand Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. It's not going all that well, is it? No, I think that went about as well as it could have, actually, given the circumstances. We exposed the worst of the princess's testimony as untrue. I can't believe she just makes stuff up like that. Yeah, that was surprising. Still, the issue is that we didn't manage to shake the core of the argument. If only there was anyone else in that house. Now, there's no need to look so glum. Detective, aren't you supposed to be escorting the princess back? The carriage is being prepared. I thought I'd drop by in the meantime. You've really managed to make Dragmire furious, you know. I have? If you listen carefully, you just might be able to hear him ranting over in the prosecutor's lobby. He's really giving his upcoming witness a grilling. Expect him to try to shut you down as fast as he can. Well, that would be worrying if I had anything that he could shut down in the first place, I guess. Oh? But you do? What do you mean? Oh, come on now. I'm talking about the princess's grand discovery, of course. The fire? I wasn't able to do anything with that. You really think that it's relevant? Don't get me wrong. At present, I'm convinced the girl did it. We investigated and came to this conclusion for a reason. But I'm willing to explore every possibility. That fire is definitely a bit strange, and I dare say it may be your only way out of this. If I may be so bold, I think you should press the next witness on that topic hard. As the only other person working on the ranch at the time, he's the only one who could have lit that fire. If he is hiding something, I think the court deserves to know. Thing is, the next testimony is... Should I hit that again? Yeah, that's gonna be difficult to bring up the fire again without Dragmire objecting. You'll have to make it work. As much as I don't like it, she's right. There really isn't a whole lot else to go on here. Well, thank you. Don't mention it. One last thing, you ranch girl. Me? Try not to hold that testimony against the princess. Believe me, I'm sure she was acting with the best of intentions in mind. Huh, you know the road to the Dark Realm is paved with those, right? Perhaps. It was definitely a serious lapse of judgment, one she will live to regret. Part of this comes from the fact that she's rather sheltered and inexperienced. After the sudden death of her older sister last year, she was thrust into the role of an heir very suddenly. That's right, the mysterious death of the firstborn Princess Zelda. Hyrule still grieves after the events of that day. Yet, no one knows exactly what happened. In the void of information, conspiracy theories run amok, people blaming the Royal Guard, the Sheikah, and even the king himself. The princess will soon have a whole kingdom's worth of trouble on her shoulders. For a kingdom with a history as turbulent as ours, it's a lot to handle. The princess's conduct today probably won't help with the distrust from people of the crown right now, though. She's wise beyond her years. She will learn and she will be better. I simply ask that you don't think of her as an enemy, whatever comes of this trial. She does not need any more than she already has. Wow, she's so intense. Never expected to see Impa get so emotional. I guess this is why she decided to take the blame for the princess's impromptu investigation. Detective Impa! What is it, soldier? I'm quite busy at the moment, so please be quick. The investigation team back at the ranch has just sent word of a new development. Something about a milk shipment being returned to the ranch because of the wrong recipient address? They're asking you to come over to see it. Oh, those idiots. I don't have time for this. Send someone else. I have to escort the princess to the castle. Roger. That did remind me, though. I took this bottle of milk from a couple guards who were slacking on the job earlier. Here, ranch girl. Perhaps it'll help calm your nerves somewhat. Not to worry, it's still unopened. Oh, thank you. That's nice of her. Too bad for those guards, though. Now then, I believe the princess's carriage should be prepared by now. If you'll excuse me. think I'm so nervous right now. Milk has just lost its flavor. Huh? Lost its flavor? But Lon Lon milk is always so tasty. You sure it's just nerves? Let me try some. Huh. You're right. I assume this would have come from one of yesterday's shipments? Probably. With the investigation at the ranch, there wouldn't have been any... With the investigation at the ranch, there wouldn't be any today, so... Maybe it just isn't fresh? No, I don't think so. It doesn't really taste like it's gone bad. Also, the guard said that one of yesterday's shipments was misaddressed, didn't he? Huh. And this was all handled by Ingo, wasn't it? I think there's something odd going on. I better make some notes about this in the court record. Defense, the court is about to reconvene. Escort your client back to the courtroom at once. So it comes down to this. Sorry. Oh, sorry. The conclusion's approaching. It's time to turn this situation around. Rabble. Court is back in session for the trial of Malin of Lon Lon Ranch. I trust that the prosecution's final witness is ready? Naturally, I've personally seen to it that there will be no foolishness this time around. Hopefully his ears are intact. As we discussed before the recess, having established the opportunity and means for the defendant to have committed to the murder, only one matter remains. The matter of motive for, naturally, such a heinous crime. It couldn't be the result of mere happenstance. The prosecution believes the defendant had a deep desire that pushed her to patricide. Our next witness can shed light on the matter. Fascinating. Very well. Please proceed. The prosecution calls the ranch worker Ingo to the stand. Ingo. Ha! It's funny to see Mr. Ingo in such fancy clothes. Oh? Yeah, he almost always just wears his work dungarees. It's almost like looking at a different person. Well, I guess he wanted to dress up for court. He wouldn't want to get his nice outfit dirty by working in it. Quiet, defense. Witness, state your name and occupation. Your Honor, great honorable prosecutor, my name is Ingo. I mind Lon Lon Ranch. Mind? What does that entail exactly? I'm mostly there to work on the structures and equipment. The owner and his daughter are the ones who tend to the animals and take care of orders. How long have you been working at the ranch? It'll be several years at this point. Hey-ya! There have been others who came and went, but I, Ingo, have preserved through all the hardships. Sounds like he wants a medal for it. Well, he does get a bit pompous at times. Mr. Ingo really is a great help. He built the ranch's silos single-handedly. Oh, that's some dedication. Very well. Given that you're clearly an important employee, you are privy to some inside information, is that correct? Yes, the ranch owner shared all the big plans with me. He trusted me implicitly. He used to say that we're like a big family. That sounds lovely. That sounds like a red flag that you're going to be... That sounds like a red flag. You're going to be getting loads of unpaid overtime. Evidently, not every member of your so-called family felt the same way. Did they? It hurts to do this, but I have no choice. Hear my story, Honorable Court of Law. Lab by app. What is this? This is an Ocarina of Time ROM hack that turns it into a courtroom drama. Just a couple days ago, the owner Talon partly signed the ranch over to his daughter Malin. Talon became a life tenant, with Malin meant to inherit all the assets after his death. As long as Talon lived, Malin could not sell the ranch. It is simple, isn't it? The girl killed Talon to get full ownership and leave the dingy ranch life behind. It's appalling to see how ungrateful she is after all Talon did for her. Buddy, how are you? by the way. I saw you went back live at like 2 in the morning. I was so passed out. You so you're like playing Peak. It's 2 a.m. peak time for Peak. There you have it. Testimony from the man who just lost everything. It's truly tragic to witness yet another family torn apart by greed. We have evidence. We have the defendant caught red-handed at the scene of the crime. How do we know he's telling the truth? I have, of course, verified the witness's testimony. As per the law, all inheritance documents must be filed at the Castletown Notary Office to be considered valid. I saw fit to prepare this for trial. The prosecution would like to submit the Lon Lon Ranch inheritance document into evidence. Mr. Ingo, why would you? You should pass judgment now, Judge. The defense has nothing. Yep! I would like to cross-examine the witness. I feel there are a few more details. There are a few more details I feel are relevant. I was on until almost 6 a.m. Brother. But of course, ask whatever you like. I, the hard-working Ingo, can handle it. Very well, defense. Please begin. 5. Still, buddy. I'm not crazy. Alright, so we gotta look at his statement. A couple days ago, the owner partly signed the ranch over to Malin. Talon became a life tenant, with Malin meant to inherit all the assets after his death. As long as Talon lives, Malin cannot sell the ranch. It's simple, isn't it? The girl killed Talon to get full ownership and leave the dingy ranch life behind. It's appalling how ungrateful she is after all that Talon did for her. What did he do for her? No, you hold it! That man gave everything for her. She's gotten so many expensive presents over the years. Just look at that golden necklace she's wearing. That man spoiled her rotten. In fact, I think I saw another present he was meaning to give her on the very day she was killed. Another gift? Why, yes, a little bottle of perfume, I believe. It's horrible. Talon was such a kind man. What happened to him is despicable. Was that last statement important? Yeah, because that's incorrect. The bottle of perfume was for Zelda, not for... Yeah, we're playing the Zelda Phoenix Raid.
I just turned it on.
Isn't this great?
We got it to work.
Yeah. Your Honor, the defense wishes to add the statement about the perfume to the testimony. Ha! Bah! What are you doing? Trying to implicate the defendant even harder? I think it's an important detail. Yeah, because it's wrong. He's incorrect. The perfume is irrelevant. But I suppose the prosecution has no objections to strengthening our case. Very well, witness. Please add what you just said to your testimony. Alright, so Talon often bought Malin gifts. I saw the latest one, some kind of perfume, I think. Okay. So, court record, the perfume. Because it was a gift for the princess. It's not for... It wasn't for Malin. Witness! What is it? Just to confirm, you say that this bottle of perfume was bought for Malin by her father, correct? Huh. What else would it be for? I assure you, Talon wasn't the type to indulge in perfumes. Far from it. Well, you're wrong, witness. Oh, is that so? Was the ranch owner truly a perfume connoisseur? No, Your Honor. The bottle of perfume was bought for the princess. Ingo, you fucking liar. Ha! So what, defense? Sure, it's technically a contradiction, but what does the purpose of this bottle change? Yes, defense, I admit I'm confused as well. Please explain why this point is important. Earlier in the trial, Malin mentioned that Talon bought this perfume in preparation last minute. Isn't that right, Malin? Sure is. We had a gift for the king prepared when the news arrived that it would... we had a gift for the king prepared when the news arrived that it would actually be the princess making this visitation. Father quickly rode out into town to get a new gift. This info puts one thing into question. Yeah, somebody's movements? Someone's movements around the ranch are put into serious doubt. Someone's? Well, don't keep us waiting then, Defense. Who is this person? Naturally, the person whose movements become suspect is it's Ingo. My god, these are so funny. Impa in the fucking... Impa in the gumshoe outfit. It's Ingo. Take that! The witness himself. If you recall, this bottle of perfume, which had just been purchased, was found at the crime scene. A crime scene the witness supposedly never went to. He shouldn't have known about the bottle. Ah! Order, order. The defense raises a very valid point. You simpleton, what's the meaning of this? Well, witness, did you go to the scene of the crime at any point? No, of course I didn't. I was at the silo all day. I remember, I saw the gift the day before the crime. That's wrong. The girl is lying. Talon must have gotten the gift the day before. You're the one who's lying. Father didn't leave the ranch at all that day. Yeah, one's word against another's. Defense, do you have any way to prove that your version of the events is true? I mean, this, right? For the receipt. When you buy something, you usually get a receipt, and the receipt always shows the date of purchase. It might still be at the ranch house. I say we send someone out to go look for it. Father never throws receipts away. We have a drawer full of them. The perfume one should be right on the top. I believe this idea has some merit. Soldiers, rush out to the ranch house immediately and search for that receipt. Your Honor. Yes, what is it, soldier? We have just received the receipt from the team stationed at the crime scene. Huh. Very well, thank you. I shall now read it out. There's a lot of writing on this. From Tingle's Mysterious Smells. Not Tingle's Mysterious Smells. Not Tingle. No. Why are we buying his mysterious smells? Please, not Tingle. No. I've seen that store. It's that eccentric-looking place in the back alley. You couldn't miss the blinding neon colors if you tried. It's an utter eyesore. The gall of this nobody running a monopoly on Hylian perfume is preposterous. Perhaps, but back to the matter at hand. The nerve of that dunderhead! Why would anybody ever shop at a store where the owner calls every other customer a fairy? Prosecutor. And the balloons! Oh, the balloons! That fool popped one right in my face. Prosecutor Dragmeyer, enough. Continuing on, please stop ranting and raving about Tingle, player who's playing the game right now. Continuing on, purchased item, 1 bottle of Rosy Rupee Land. Oh my. This is quite the price. Why, I would have to... Your Honor, please, the date of purchase. Yes, alright, date of purchase. Why, it's March 16th, the day of the murder. Ah! Yeah, you're fucking... You're cooked! Order. Yes, we got him! Phew, I think we're finally getting somewhere. This still doesn't mean anything. Perhaps the witness briefly went back to the ranch house for something and saw the bottle then. Yes, that's it. I was getting thirsty, so I went back to get a drink. I must have seen the bottle then. Oh, come on. You think we're gonna believe that? Do you have any proof that he didn't? Well, I believe this calls for further testimony. As the witness now claims to have visited the crime scene shortly before the murder, we should learn of his exact movements that day. Movements? Well, alright. There's not a whole lot to say, though. It's unfortunate that he managed to weasel out of that. But this next testimony will be full of lies. Now is my chance. Witness testimony. My non-suspicious movements. As I was already stated, I had volunteered to work in the silo. At one point, I briefly went back to the ranch house to get myself a glass of water. I went back to the silo right after that, and I stayed there until the courier came. I haven't been back to the ranch house at all since then. At some point, the detective came and told me what happened, and wow, was that detective one fine woman. Wow, this guy, Ingo, sucks. To the surprise of no one, Ingo fucking sucks. See? I haven't done anything to warrant suspicion. Eat my shoes, you brat. I'll pass. There has to be something wrong in there. You can't put a flawless story together that quickly. Alright, let's take a look at this bullshit. This new string of BS. My non-suspicious movements. Alright, I already stated. I worked at the silo. Briefly went to get to the ranch house to get myself a glass of water. Went back to the silo right after that, and I stayed there until the courier came. I haven't been back to the ranch house at all since then. Not at all. Not even when you found out the guy was killed. Are you sure? Sure as I can be, moo-ha-ha. You never went back in, even after the crime was discovered? Nah, well, they wouldn't let me in, preserving the crime scene or some such. I couldn't even get any of my things. After I was questioned, no one gave me half a glance. I had to sleep in the stables that night. It was terrible. Huh. Is what he just said important? It is important. Your Honor. I would like the witness to add this last statement to his testimony. What? What are you trying to pull now? Very well. Witness, please amend your statement. Ah, fine. Whatever. I didn't even get to sleep or access any of my belongings. I had to spend the night in a stable. Oh, he has different clothes on. He's dressed up nicely for... Yeah, how did he get his things? Witness, there's something seriously wrong with your testimony. What are you talking about? You say you couldn't get any of your... You said you couldn't get any of your belongings because they were all at the ranch house, correct? A ranch house you were not allowed to go in? That's right. Well, that would imply you should still be wearing your work clothes. Pardon me if I'm wrong, but those don't look like work clothes at all. Ah! The defense has a point. The witness appears pretty well dressed for court. I can't imagine that he would want to sully those clothes during work. Well, what do you have to say about that? Oh, of course. I can explain. It's simple. These are brand new. Yeah. On my way to the courthouse, I went shopping for a nice new outfit. After all, I couldn't very well show up to court dressed like a bum. Moo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Yes, defense. Certain people have a modicum of respect for the court and show up dressed appropriately. What's that supposed to mean? This is my finest Zora suit. So you claim you bought these clothes after the crime, is that correct? Very much so. This morning, in fact. Why do I need to repeat myself? Do I accept that explanation? No, he's full of shit. You buying those clothes today is simply impossible. What? Oh, how can you claim so? Defense, as you know, evidence is everything in court. Either prove the witness couldn't have bought these clothes today, or get out. What does the photo look like? He's wearing the fancy clothes! Well, there you go. He's wearing them in this photo. I'd like to turn the court's attention to this. Ah! Huh? Why, this is one lovely pictograph. Oh, it reminds me of the idyllic days I spent with my grandson at the fishing pond. What about this pictograph, defense? Well, just look at what Ingo is wearing. Yeah, he's wearing his fancy clothes. This photo is from Malon's childhood, but Ingo is very clearly wearing the same outfit he has on right now. He couldn't have bought it today. Ah! Order. I will have order. Why, the defense is absolutely correct. I hope the witness has a good explanation for this. There. I think we finally got him. There's no way he can weasel out this time. Ha! Oh, unless someone weasels out for him. Ah, isn't it obvious? Naturally, the witness knew he would need to wear his nice clothes for the royal visitation that was scheduled for that day. He brought them to the silo in advance so that he could quickly change just before the visitation's arrival. He sure doesn't look like that's the case. Oh. Yes, of course, I needed to be presentable after all. Can't look like a bum in front of the most important people in the kingdom. Meep. Objection. Wait a minute. This is insane. What kind of kangaroo court is this? The prosecution keeps making excuses up on the spot. Ingo is clearly lying about buying the clothes before the trial. He's definitely trying to hide something. Your Honor, surely you won't accept this blatant perjury. Accept it, Judge. There can be no other explanation. The prosecution's explanation does seem plausible. What? However, the fact that the witness didn't simply say it himself and instead made up a lie about buying the clothes is indeed very suspicious. Defense! Prosecution has posed that there is no other possible explanation for this contradiction. What is your opinion on the matter? Can the defense think of an alternative version of events? This is big. I really need to think this through. Mind Palace. These moths are flying around. This is completely empty in there. Ingo is acting really suspicious right now. He's desperately trying to patch up holes in his testimony to conceal his real movements. Fuck. Why would he be doing that? He's the murderer. And if it's not Malin, Ingo is the only other person who could have done this. I have to assume he did if I want to think Malin is innocent. With that in mind, why would Ingo change out of his work clothes? Because they're bloody. Yeah, there's blood on them. When Ingo killed Talon, his clothes must have gotten blood on them. He had to change into something else to hide his involvement. No, but then wouldn't the Sheikah force that found the clothes in the house? How could they have disappeared? Oh, they were in the fire! Oh, you're fucked, Ingo. The goddesses are here. The goddesses of Phoenix and right and objections and law. I tried for it. Ingo burned his clothes. That's it. It explains everything. Kind of. I believe I can offer an alternative explanation. Objection. Nonsense. Judge, the defense spent far too long sitting in silence just now. They clearly don't know what's going on. I call for a quick ruling. Hat! Not only can I explain it, but in fact, the defense formally accuses the witness of the murder. No! It's simple. The reason he had to swap his outfit and why he's been lying about the circumstances ever since is because it got stained with the victim's blood. Ha! Oh, wait a minute. Fuck. You know what I just realized? When they're doing their objections, it's the laser tennis from Ocarina. Link goes hat when he slashes again and goes oh when he hits the ball back when you play tennis in this boss fight because you're batting the argument back and forth. This is great. Newer team who worked on this newer team, this thing kicks ass. This is awesome. What a good fucking Romhack, dude. 10 out of 10. If there were any discarded bloody clothes nearby, the Sheikah force would have found them, and we would have been trying someone else for murder right now. Why, you're absolutely correct, prosecutor. Naturally, Ingo couldn't have left his bloody clothes lying around. And so, he used this to dispose of them. Yeah, it's the oil bottle, right? Oh, I didn't mean to do the milk. I wanted to do the oil bottle, not the milk. Uh-oh. This reveals absolutely nothing. Are you sure? Everyone is rather convinced, I think. I must have grabbed the wrong piece. Oops. Naturally, perhaps this penalty will help you pick the right one. Ow! Okay. It's the oil bottle. Your Honor, cast your mind to the princess's last testimony. The princess's... Oh, that mysterious fire. Haw! Surely you jest. You yourself made sure we all knew how meaningless her testimony was. And yet, with this new context in mind, it gains a completely new meaning. An empty bottle of lamp oil found by a burned-out fire. Ingo used this lamp oil to quickly burn away his stained work clothes. Ingo's going through it right now. Well, how about it, witness? My scenario explains everything. You killed Talon, and then you tried to hide it. This is... No! Hold on! What drivel are you spouting here? Me? Kill Talon? You already know that's impossible. Too busy for murder. This is not enough hours in the day, is there? Everything you said is wrong. I have no idea what you're on about. I have an alibi for the time of the crime. I just couldn't have done it. There's no way I could have completed those milk shipments, killed Talon, and tried to hide my involvement. The fire was just made for a quick breakfast. There's no mystery there. Stop trying to pin this on poor innocent Ingo. Except, the milk was wrong. Now, I shouldn't have to remind you, Defense, but you yourself were surprised that Ingo was able to complete the shipment in time. Adding even more things for him to do in that time is preposterous. That's right, the great Ingo is efficient at his job. But not that efficient. No, it had to have been him. I'm sure of it. There must be some trick at play here. Some kind of shortcut. I must find it. Or the milk is wrong. Oh, yeah, we'll use the milk here. I may have mistakenly used the milk in the last thing, but the milk is going to get used here, I think. Go to the milk. Wait, do you think it's the shipment, though, or the bottle? Let's try the milk. We've got a couple hearts. Let's try the milk. But did you, though? Did you really complete those shipments properly? Haw! Defense, I shouldn't have to remind you that the Sheikah Force checked the boxes thoroughly. They were definitely full of milk bottles. Oh, I'm sure it looked that way. What are you getting at, Defense? Here you go, Your Honor. Huh? Milk? For me? Are you trying to bribe the judge now? I didn't think you'd stoop so low. The Crown will be informed of this. Oh, it's nothing like that. All I'm asking is for His Honor to try tasting the milk. Just one little sip. This is highly irregular. But to be honest, I could use a drink. All this talking does make one's throat dry, you know. Yeah, for real. You've probably talked the least out of everyone here, though. Since the defense insists, I'll go ahead and take a sip. Huh. Is this what passes for milk these days? It almost tastes like water. Water? I have to agree, this is definitely not standard milk. As we've heard from the princess and the detective, Longland Ranch is renowned for the quality of its products. There's no way people would say that about milk this lousy. Haw! Bah! Whatever. As if the unwashed masses would know the difference between quality and garbage. Where were you going with this, Defense? It's simple, you see. I received this bottle from Detective Impa, still unopened, during the first recess. As we know, there were no milk shipments today, so this must have come from one of Ingo's shipments from yesterday. Ah! It's true that Ingo couldn't have murdered Talon and also completed the shipments on his own. Unless he cheated. Ingo watered down the milk to get the shipments done in time. Order. Yes, I suppose that would work. Indeed, all he had to do was milk fewer of the cows, to save enough time without ruining the taste too much. I guess he used about a 50-50 split of water and milk. This is... No. That... Talon... Let me stop you right there. I will concede that something odd happened to that shipment. But all you have proven is that Ingo is a slacker. How dare you? Be quiet, you mongrel. Sure, Ingo watered down the milk. That doesn't make him a killer, though, does it? Well, no. But now we do know that he definitely could have done it. We know he did go to the crime scene. And we know he did have the time and opportunity to kill Talon as well. Yet there's a vital element missing still. Let me put it in simple terms so even an idiot like you can understand. Ah, the murder weapon. You lack the murder weapon. If Ingo was the murderer, then he could have been this. It couldn't have been the saw. And why is that? It's simple. If the girl's story about working on the fence is true, then she was using the saw while her father was being murdered. They couldn't have been in two places at the same time. Huh, do I agree with this? I believe we're in complete agreement on this point. You do realize the problems that creates for you, right? I'm sure it can all be explained. As if. That's weird. Ganondorf saying as if. As if. Well, but very well. Let's move on to why nothing else could have been the murder weapon either. You lack the murder weapon. And where would this supposed other murder weapon even come from? You know what? We've got a whole list of things that are on the ranch. Look at all this shit. Rakes. Knives. There's 6 knives. How about this shit? Have you forgotten this murder happened on a ranch? There are plenty of sharp things on the site. That's simply impossible. Poof. We checked all the sharp objects on the ranch and searched everywhere. No fresh blood was found anywhere else. Hold it! Couldn't Ingo have just disposed of it? In some way? Ha! That's impossible, you see. No items from the ranch's inventory list were missing, and that list is indisputable. Alright, well, I don't need to take another look at it. You tell me. The inventory list itself is false. Oh, fascinating. What exactly makes you question the veracity of this document? That would be... It's simple. You only need a brief look at the inventory to see where it can't be trusted. You can't just go around making such general statements, Defense. Point out what exactly about the inventory makes it suspect. Oh, it's Ingo. Just look here. The one who compiled this list was Ingo himself. He could have just as easily falsified the counts as part of his plan. Ugh. That doesn't matter. No items from the... Yeah, so that's gone. Nothing could have left the ranch. Oh, Stuff did leave the ranch. There was a shipment of milk. With this piece of evidence, I've won the argument. I'm afraid I don't see how that piece of evidence is relevant at all, Defense. What? What do you mean? Oh, I did this one. You really sure nothing with the ranch? What about a few little shipments of milk? Preposterous. Have you forgotten that said shipments have been checked by the Sheikah force before they're even allowed to leave? That's true, but there was a place the Sheikah could have overlooked. What in Din's name are you babbling about? We're talking about bog-standard crates here, boy. Not exactly vast dungeons full of nooks and crannies to stuff things into, are they? Where could they have missed such a murder weapon? It's simple. They overlooked the contents of the bottles. There's one place inside the crates that the Sheikah couldn't have checked thoroughly without ruining the shipments. Without ruining the shipments. That's right. Ingo put the murder weapon inside of the bottle. That does seem plausible. Now wait just a moment. A weapon in a milk bottle wouldn't just go unnoticed. Someone would have reported it. Can I look at this real quick? Hold on, because I didn't. I mean, they returned it because it was misaddressed. I could take another hit. Oh, that sounds correct. You'd be correct that a weapon showing up in someone's milkshake would have caused quite a stir. If the milk ever actually made it to any milk bar, that is. You see, I overheard a very interesting tale during the recess. Word was sent from the ranch not long ago that one of the shipments was returned unopened due to being misaddressed. No! Indeed. If you recall, Ingo was the one who handled all of that. Now, that's strange. The ranch supplies the same milk bars every day. Even if he had messed up the street address a little, the couriers would have known where the shipment was meant to go. How could he have bungled it that badly? It's almost as if he didn't want them to go anywhere. Yeah, absolutely. I bet Ingo expected this box to stay in shipping limbo a while longer. How unfortunate for him that the postal service was on its game today. Maybe because they were worried it'd start to smell. I believe this calls for us to investigate these boxes of milk more closely. Soldiers, have these boxes retrieved from the ranch immediately. Bam, bam, bam. Argument complete. Yeah, we got our health back. Sick. This is slander. Why would I kill Talon? Sure, he's a bit of a layabout, but he did give me a job. Why would I want him dead? The motive? Oh, the motive? Yeah. It's simple. I'm surprised why you're even asking me about it. This evidence easily explains your motive. I literally just saw this when I was looking over the other stuff. Malin will inherit the ranch, and if she is unable, divide the deed between the crown and the remaining employees. Ingo inherits the ranch if Malin can't run it. This very inheritance document that you brought to the court's attention states the following. In case of the testator's death, his daughter Malin of Lon Ranch will inherit the ranch, unless she is unable to oversee it, in which case it shall be divided between the crown and the remaining employees. Oh. What? You not only killed Talon, but you decided to frame Malin for the crime as well, so you would be the one to inherit part of the ranch. That's why you volunteered to work in the silo all day. It gave you an alibi so that Malin would be the only possible culprit. Of course, you knew about the royal visitation in advance, and you knew Malin would go back to the ranch house to prepare before they arrived. A perfect setup for the royals to find her next to the body. No, 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 no! What are you talking about? Talon signing the ranch over to me? Preposterous. Did he really not know? I guess it was Dragmire who procured the actual document, not him. Your Honor. What is it, soldier? The box you requested is here. Already? Oh, it's quite fast. Apparently the team at the ranch had already noticed something arrived with it on their own. The box arrived just as we were about to rush out a courier to deliver our message. Well. Let's see for ourselves then, shall we? The part of the shipment that proves my case is... Oh my god, there's blood in it. Take that. Here it is, from the bottle with a slight red tint to the milk. Looks like some kind of serrated knife. That explains the irregular wound pretty nicely. How could those Sheikah idiots have missed this? I'm sure the milk was pure white when they first checked it. It took a while. It took a whole day for the blood to dissolve in it. Either way, no matter how you slice it, this proves my... Come on, Link. That's pretty dark. This proves my theory right. Oh, I've had it. Fine. You want to know why? You want to know why I really killed that scumbag? No, what are you? So you admit it? Yes, I admit it. What would you do if one day, after years of back-breaking labor, despite putting your all into the ranch, you were thrown away like rubbish, without any reason? Fired, farewell, we don't need you anymore. What? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, don't lie. I heard it all. I was just returning back from another day of spine-wrenching work. Lo and behold, what's this? Malin and Talon are talking behind my back. I heard it all. We'll let him go after the visitation. We can handle things without him. And so, after volunteering to work on that shipment, I quietly slipped out while the girl was busy and shanked that good-for-nothing slacker. Ha! You should have seen his face. He didn't expect it at all. So yes, Malin, I killed that lazy bum you called a father. And he deserved it. Whoops. You're kind of not supposed to do that. Order! The witness will cease his boasting over such a terrible deed. I think we've heard enough. Soldiers, take him away. Hold it. Wait just a moment. Ingo. Yes, girl, want to apologize for what you've done? Apologize? Me? You're horrible. We weren't planning to fire you at all. You completely misunderstood what we were saying. What? Oh, they're talking about, like, you know, a horse or something, right? We've had so much work recently. Well, you know how it goes with the royal visits. Always a busy time. Gotta make sure everything's tip-top shape. I do worry somewhat about old Ingo, though. He's been complaining about his back recently. Do wish he'd take a step back and relax sometime. Maybe we should convince him to take a vacation. Wow. Now there's an idea. It'd do him good to just get out for a while. I'll discuss it with him after the visitation. After things calm down, we can handle everything without him. That's... You were planning... What? A vacation for me? And I did... No! No, it can't be so! Please say it isn't so! Chicken! Oh, he's getting chicken to oh, no! The judge passed sentence on him already. Death by cuckoo. Boop, 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 boop. We have truly witnessed today the results of a truly horrifying misunderstanding. But misunderstanding or not, what you have done is unforgivable. Talon was a kind man, beloved by all who had the good fortune to cross his path. His loss we felt not only at his ranch, but all across Hyrule. The killer turned out to be an utterly pathetic man with delusions of grandeur. I mean, look at him. An utter idiot, dressed like a clown. Jeez, he's really laying into him. I bet he's just upset because he lost. The prosecution's rant aside, I think it's time to declare today's verdict. This is just a formality, but the defendant please step up to the stand. Young miss, I'm very sorry for the situation you found yourself in. I'm very glad you appear to have such a good attorney as a friend. I wouldn't have chosen anyone else. Ah, thanks. Now then, without further ado, in the name of the goddess Hylia, in the sacred land of Hyrule, I hereby find Malon of Lon Lon Ranch not guilty. Court is adjourned. March 17th, 12:32 p.m. Hyrule Grand Court, Defendant Lobby, number 3. We did it! I suppose so. I guess Ingo's outburst kind of soured the mood, huh? I don't think I can ever forgive Mr. Ingo for what he's done. That's fair enough, honestly. Really, though, you shouldn't think about that for now. You're free! It's time to celebrate. I guess you're right. Excellent work. I knew you'd pull through. Oh, thanks. I couldn't have done it without you, really. So, thank you. No. It's not quite right. If you want to thank someone, I'm not the one who deserves it the most. Your Highness? I thought you were going back to Hyrule Castle. What strings did Impa have to pull to get her here? I was, but I realized I should apologize for what I did personally. It's an honor. Oh, there is no need to bow. Not after what I've done. Really, if not for my status, I would have probably been carted off to prison alongside that angry little man. Perjury is, pretty serious, so that's probably not entirely wrong. Ah, as usual, you don't give yourself enough credit, Your Highness. Oh, how can you say that, Detective? I almost condemned an innocent person to prison. Yes, there are some things you should think twice about doing in the future. But it's all thanks to you that the young lady over there finally went free. Huh? Come on, attorney. Show Her Highness what I'm talking about. Cap! The bottle. Well, it's true. Without this, without knowing about the fire, we wouldn't have had any proof to substantiate our claims. Huh. And really, your obviously fake testimony helped a lot. Ow! Impa just stepped on my foot. Well, there you have it. In any case, I'm sure Miss Malon isn't too upset. Well, sure. 10, hut! We have orders to escort the princess back to the castle immediately. Just in time. Farewell, Your Highness. So they left. Now then, listen to me. I know that I'm perhaps being too lenient on the princess, but tough times are ahead. The princess will need all the confidence she can get to lead the kingdom through them. She needs to learn to take responsibility for her actions too, though. And she will. Huh? Her Highness is in for a rather unpleasant afternoon today, I imagine. The urgency with which she has just been escorted out of here isn't coincidental. Oh, what? Was the king gonna scold her? At the very least. Now then, my duties call, unfortunately, so I must be off. Again, you did well today, both of you. I trust that I will be able to rely on you in future court proceedings as well. I'll try my best. That's all I ask. That unpleasant prosecutor seems to be making his way over here, so I'll be excusing myself post-haste. Farewell. Uh-oh. You! Hello, nice day we're having, isn't it? Tell me, now, where did that blasted detective go? To have my reputation tarnished this way by some novice attorney from the boonies. Dramatic much? He looks about ready to burst from anger. Don't be such a sore loser. You lost. Deal with it. Yeah, we got the right verdict. Doesn't that make you even a little bit glad? Yes, I suppose there is some worth in that. What transpired is most unfortunate. I can only offer my condolences. Just remember that it was the meddling of that idiotic princess and the stupidity of that blasted detective that led to your arrest. So if you have any grievances, take it up with them. I suppose there's some truth to what he's saying. Speaking of the detective, it appears she has fled from me like a cuckoo on fire. Mark my words, she will regret what she has done for generations. Well, that sure was something. I don't know if he was being sincere or just wanted to shift blame onto someone else. I wouldn't say he's entirely blameless. Never mind that. Do you think you'll be alright running the ranch by yourself? Of course, I'll come visit, but I have my attorney duties too. I'll get in touch with the castle and see if they can spare some men to work at the ranch. Silly as my father may have seemed, he really did prepare me to take over one day, and he's taught me well. I'll make sure the animals are well cared for, just as I always have. Well, that's a spirit. I believe in you. I really want to thank you for bringing the truth to light. If it wasn't for you, I don't even want to think about what could have happened. Don't mention it. I'm just glad everything worked out in the end. And so ended a very personal case for me. Felt like a weight had been lifted off my back. Malin continued working at the ranch, hoping to make it prosper, even beyond what her father was able to accomplish. I didn't really think much about it, but the days following were some of the happiest I'd lived for a long time. Little did I know that a terrible tragedy would soon shock the entire kingdom, and I'd find myself smack dab in the middle of it. But that's a legend for another day. Dun, 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 dun. Look at this cutscene! Ah, that was really cool. Yeah, the team that put this together is called Newer Team. They have like a website that you can, if you guys want the ROM, it's really easy. You can just search Hero of Time, or Hero of Law, rather. It's the first thing that comes up. This is so well put together, though. Like, the music is good. The character animations are great. The all the environments, like the courtroom and stuff, like absolutely top tier. I'm really impressed with this. If you haven't picked it up by now, I'm very impressed with this. Bye, Ingo. Yeah, all right. is she getting yelled at? Created using Ocarina of Time NPC Maker. Interesting. This Impa's office. Incredible. Oh, and a kitty! Special thanks to the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time staff. Yep. And you for playing. Yay! The end. That was really cool. Oh, I like that a lot. I wish there was more. Scene select is now unlocked. Extra 1 is now unlocked? What's extra 1? Extra 1, meanwhile somewhere else. What? Oh no. Hold on. This is da 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 da. Where's your double jump, Talon? I'm like thrown completely trying to do this. Oh, there's a run. Okay, cool. So I can like... I was on that. I gotta redeem myself here. Am I really a gamer if I can't do a Super Mario level? Did it just butt stomp? Why did we do that? I worry with Talon having -1 lives. Is this like, am I escorting Talon? Am I escorting Talon to heaven? Is that what's happening? There you go. What? Fucking hell. Why am I so bad? We have to get Talon to heaven. Why am I so bad? Fuck. Alright, I probably don't need to run. Ugh. Okay, fine. Don't worry, Talon. I'll get you to heaven. No, he does not. No, no, we don't. Oh, wait, do I have to, like... Okay, sure. Okay. Course clear. This is silly. Wow, I really needed one of those. Thanks. In return, I'll tell you about a secret I heard, supposedly. There's a game with a giant egg in which you can become a criminal, and a pair of games with a climate change and time travel. See, the extras can be unlocked by connecting them on the title screen using a certain accessory. I don't know what that means. I'm sure you can figure it out. See ya.
A few moments later.
I couldn't get it to work. That's okay. Let's go ahead and hop on over. We'll say bye to our friends on YouTube. YouTube, that was Hero of Law. And that was pretty sick. I thought that was a tremendous, tremendous ROM hack. It was really, really, really good. Newer team who created this. I'll have a link to where you yourself can get your hands on Hero of Law if you wish to play it. And just the highest of fives, the biggest of ups to newer team. YouTube, remember to do those things that YouTube likes you to do. Remember, you can come hang out with us on Discord. And the most important thing of all is to remember to take care of yourself, take care of each other. I will see all of you later. Bye-bye.